that this is the end of the Diddy story as we know it.
So I don't give them no energy. I give haters no energy. Steve ain't this. He think he this. You don't even know.
Everyone is talking about it right now, the shocking arrest of Sean Diddy Combs and the unbelievable fallout that's dragging some of the biggest names in the entertainment industry along with him. But there's one name, in particular, that's left everyone in disbelief: Steve Harvey. Yes, the same Steve Harvey we all know from family-friendly TV shows like Family Feud and his long-standing career as a comedian and talk show host. The same Steve who has built an image as a clean, respectable, almost fatherly figure in the entertainment world. But behind that polished persona, it seems there may be a much darker side. Clearly, there is a criminal investigation underway, and authorities believe there could be evidence of crimes in one or both of Combs' homes. The bombshell news dropped like a ton of bricks when Diddy was arrested in Manhattan. Federal agents took him in on charges that sound like they're straight out of a crime thriller: racketeering, conspiracy, exploitation, and more. Stacey Schneider, you said today's indictment reads like a mob indictment. What was most shocking to you of all these allegations? Yeah, the fact, Jake, that the government in this indictment presented evidence alleging that Sean Combs was running a criminal enterprise. This was huge. Diddy's business empire has spanned music, fashion, television, and nightlife for decades, but the arrest has blown a hole in the image of the music mogul everyone thought they knew. As more details surfaced, whispers started to swirl. A lot of people began to wonder how many others could be involved in this mess. Then, boom, the rumor hit the internet like wildfire: Steve Harvey, the beloved host and comedian, had fled the country the exact same day Diddy was taken into custody. Coincidence? Not likely.
Okay. But apparently TMZ is reporting that Suge Knight, who's in prison right now, right? And he's
in prison, yes, he's in jail. For he ran over an individual in Los Angeles and he committed a homicide.
Okay, so TMZ is reporting that Suge Knight has said to Diddy right now, your life is in danger.
Yes. Okay, what he's probably saying, I can't speak for what he's saying,
yeah,
because of everything that's going on right now, there's probably a lot of people that are upset about what's going on. And then, you know, even yesterday I started seeing things online where people are starting to make threats towards 50, and Diddy is starting to go back. And this is how it starts in hip-hop. It starts right on social media, and then it goes into the streets.
It does. You know, you don't hear about that too much. I mean, back in the day, yes, right? There was a lot of that.
Back in the days, you had diss records where people would just do diss records, and one rapper would talk about the other rapper. Now they go to clubs and places, and this is where they meet, and then there's always collateral damage.
Okay, so there's also been talk. I didn't realize like there was this Camp Diddy. We're hearing that Usher, when he was a young man just starting in the business, he went to Diddy's house for an extended period of time. Even Justin Bieber was brought there. I think he was 15 years old. And now we're kind of looking at their interviews that they gave years ago about being at Diddy's house and what transpired. We're looking at it differently.
Well, they are, because they were young men at the time. So with all the sex trafficking allegations that are out right now, this is what everybody's looking at. They're looking at the past.
I've had clients describe MDC as hell as the worst conditions they've ever been in, said one insider. The fact that Steve Harvey left the US as soon as Diddy was put behind bars has sparked an avalanche of speculation. Could it be that Steve knew the walls were closing in on him too? As the days go by, more and more people seem to think so. It's no secret that Steve has attended many of Diddy's infamous parties over the years, those extravagant star-studded events that seem to be the ultimate sign of success in the entertainment world. But as we've now come to learn, those parties weren't just about the glitz and glamour. Much darker things were happening behind the scenes, and Steve's connection to them is raising some serious eyebrows. The Special Housing Unit is a 24-hour lockdown unit, explains a source. Any movement within that unit is controlled and coordinated. No inmate moves outside of his cell without being in full restraints, including leg irons, handcuffs, a belly chain, and at least 2, if not 3, staff members escorting them. Let's rewind a bit and talk about these legendary parties Diddy used to throw. To the outside world, they seemed like the place to be celebrities from music, movies, sports, and politics rubbing shoulders, all while Diddy cemented his reputation as the ultimate host.
Going on down there in that interrogation room. These boys right here was born with a silver spoon in their mouth. They ain't never been under no pressure like this. You got hardcore killers, gangbangers. I'm talking about that done been under real pressure. Get up under that light, and when them people sit in front of them, they break, they fold, they fumble. So here it is. We got boys that was born with a silver spoon in their mouth, with the federal government standing in front of them, asking them questions about their father. You want to go to jail, son, for something that you didn't do? I know this is tough, but you didn't do anything wrong, son. Your father did. You got to let us know what happened, because if we can prove that you had anything to do with this and you don't tell us, we're going to put you in jail. Them boys don't want to lead that life. Living in them big, beautiful houses all that time. Jewelry, driving the finest, got the beautiful women, all that. These is kids. They ain't never trying to give up their trinkets. They ain't never trying to give up their toys. No, So here it is, y'all. They saying that P. Diddy done fled the United States of America. I guess time will tell. The cold-blooded part about this, though, is the victims. Because we have all these women. We even have some men. And now that all this stuff is coming out, I guarantee you more people are going to start coming out. And listen, if they catch P. Diddy and it's about this human trafficking stuff, it might be a floodgate. What you mean, hood educated? Let me tell y'all. Being that P. Diddy got the secrets of all these other guys, y'all know how P. Diddy come to a P. Diddy party, man. P. Diddy party, man. P. Diddy, his parties, man, and P. Diddy likes to party. All these other rappers who are silent and ain't saying nothing about this whole ordeal ever since it came out, ain't nobody came out and spoke up for the victims or nothing. All these rappers, silent, ain't saying nothing. It makes you say, why you ain't saying nothing? If somebody snitched or something like that, these guys are quick to, hey man, we don't deal with no rats, man, and all this old type of stuff. But here it is, this man right here has played it out. Or excuse me, not played it out. He has settled out on a human trafficking case. Ain't nobody said nothing. It makes you wonder, why? Are a lot of these rappers engaging in what P. Diddy engaged in? Does P. Diddy have those secrets? You see what I'm saying? Does P. Diddy know these guys' secrets? Does P. Diddy get footage, audio, and video of these guys' secrets? And that's why they like this here. Can't say nothing. Because if I do, he gonna put me out there. I gotta be quiet. But time gonna tell. Time is really gonna tell. And let me explain to you why. Because if he got their secrets in some type of way, we all know one thing about, if you know and you watch these shows about these sexual predators, they like keeping trophies. They like keeping things that remind them of what they did. And those come in video, audio, pictures, and just things from the victims. Underwear, bra, wigs, shoes, whatever. These type of people love to keep trophies. They love to keep stuff that can take them back so they can remember and relive the disgusting stuff that they did. And so
But as time went on, more and more rumors surfaced about what really went down at those parties, rumors that hinted at some very questionable activities. The recent allegations and arrests suggest these weren't just harmless social gatherings. If you listen to the people now coming forward, Diddy's parties were much more than that. They were allegedly a breeding ground for all sorts of illegal activities. And it's not just Diddy who's under the microscope. Every high-profile guest who attended, including Steve Harvey, is now being looked at with suspicion. Very serious and salacious allegations, including claims that Combs had cameras throughout his home, have surfaced. It's been said that Steve wasn't just a casual guest at these parties either. Rumor has it he was a regular fixture at some of the wildest nights in Diddy's inner circle. This is where things get really interesting. Sources close to the investigation are hinting that the FBI has witnesses who claim to have seen Steve taking part in some pretty unsavory stuff. These aren't just people throwing out baseless accusations, these are individuals who allegedly attended the same parties and witnessed Steve getting involved in things that are not just embarrassing but potentially illegal. The rumor is that Diddy was running some kind of Epstein-type deal, where he was filming everybody, right? But there's no proof yet, just whispers. This is where the story starts to peel back the layers of Steve's public image. For years, he's presented himself as the ultimate family man, a devoted husband and father, someone who could give advice to millions on how to live a respectable life. His best-selling book, Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man, cemented his place as a voice of reason in the often chaotic world of relationships. But what if it was all a front? What if, behind the scenes, Steve Harvey was living a double life, frequenting events that were anything but wholesome? Alright, I've got to take some time to address this here. Of course, Steve has built an empire on his charm, wit, and larger-than-life personality. He's been the face of countless TV shows, from talk shows to game shows, and he's universally adored for his no-nonsense approach to life. But this new information could change everything. The idea that Steve could have been involved in, or at least witnessed the deeply troubling activities allegedly happening at Diddy's parties, is almost too much for people to wrap their heads around.
Kim's family? Because, bruh, if you know what I know, he put Kim in a gold casket, then has security, 24-hour security at the funeral home, so nobody would go in there and touch the casket or take Kim out of there. I think that they should reopen our case and have an independent pathologist look at everything about her so she can rest in peace. So I know people, paperwork, and this other young lady on the internet, they are spearheading the reopening of Kim's case. And I hope they do.
How you feel about that personally? What do you think happened to Kim Porter?
Well, personally,
Yeah.
I just can't believe that somebody that had the normal flu, that had doctors on speed dial, that they had enough money that they could get the half of the hospital to come to the house and take care of her, that she died of just pneumonia like that. And if you get that point where you can't breathe, and if you know you ever had a cold so bad, I had COVID and I couldn't breathe, but I still made it to the hospital on my own. I can't believe that she stayed in that house, laid in that house, and died like they said she died. So my personal opinion is that somebody needs to reopen that case, and there needs to be a person that can do an independent autopsy to tell us the truth about what really happened to Kim Porter. When I first heard of Puff violence towards women, and like I told you, I was told this and I heard this. You understand? I used to live right across the street from Eddie F. in Mount Vernon. That was Heavy D and the Boys DJ. Me and Eddie used to have conversations. I don't know.
Could the man who's been dishing out life advice for decades be hiding something this dark? Alleged evidence that's been gathered in this case was from 2 raids conducted on Combs' personal homes in Miami and Los Angeles. The indictment names the items seized, and it's alleged that Diddy made videos of these performances, which have been called freak-offs. The fact that Steve left the country just as Diddy was being arrested has people buzzing. Why would he flee if he had nothing to hide? It's one thing to go on a spontaneous vacation, but to leave the U.S. The moment a close associate is taken down in a massive scandal, that's not something most people would do, unless they had a very good reason. And for Steve, that reason might be the fear that the authorities are closing in on him next. Now, what's next? Will Diddy remain in jail in this facility until the trial begins? Is there a chance he could get moved earlier than that? As of this moment, as of today, yes, replied the legal expert. But of course, as I mentioned earlier, they're going to appeal this, taking it to the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals to overturn the judge's order to keep him in detention. What's even more chilling is that it's not just Steve's attendance at these parties that's under scrutiny. There are whispers allegedly from credible sources close to the investigation that Steve wasn't just a passive bystander. According to these sources, the FBI has been gathering evidence for years. They've interviewed multiple witnesses who claim Steve actively participated in some of the most shocking and illegal activities that went down at these events. We're talking about things that, if proven, could completely ruin his career and lead to serious legal consequences.